Hi, and welcome to CryptoBiography. I'm your host, Brandon Starr, and this is episode 261 of CryptoBiography, and it's called The Insomniac. And here we go. I've been sleeping less and less. As recently as 10 years ago, I slept through the night and woke up refreshed. But at some point in my late 40s, that changed. And now, I think I sleep, but I wake up tired. Or I don't sleep. Or I wake up to pee, but I can't get back to sleep for an hour or two. And it's getting worse. Now I can't get through a day without a nap. And even after the nap, I don't feel refreshed. But feeling bad wasn't the worst of it. 4 days ago, I started hallucinating. I knew that my sleep had been worse than ever for a few days, but somehow I didn't expect full-on visions. All that morning I'd been nodding. I couldn't keep my eyes open. Fortunately, it was my day off from the plant nursery, so I wasn't in any danger. I was just at home. I was just on my couch, watching some NFL football on TV. I was waiting for the Broncos game to start and was just watching another game. The talking heads were discussing that game, and I couldn't care less. Suddenly, though, they weren't on the TV. They were in my room. They were still discussing pass pressure and short routes, but they were clearly standing just past my ottoman. Then I started, and they were back in the TV. But it felt real. It didn't feel like a regular dream. It felt like they'd actually been there for a brief moment. Of course, I understood that was impossible, but it didn't feel like a dream. And that was just the beginning. That night, I tried to sleep. My bedroom door opened, someone stepped in. I tried to see who it was, but I rolled over and then woke up. I know what a dream feels like. This didn't feel like that. Yet on the other hand, I knew immediately that no one had been in my room, that it was a dream, or whatever. I went back to sleep, or my version of it. The next day I was in a fog. The nursery was quiet. It was too late in the fall for many people to buy much from us. The owner's a little old lady, Bea, who worked the business for practically her whole life. But her 2 kids weren't interested in botany, so she slowly backed off from the business. In the off-season, I'm the only employee. I try to stay awake, but it's difficult. I wander the rows of the greenhouse, removing weeds whenever I see them. The movement helps. I see 2 women walk through the wall. They were talking with each other, but I couldn't understand what they were saying. I blinked, and they were gone. I knew I had to do something. I usually took my lunch during the quiet hour anyway. Today I took a nap. I think it must have helped. I wolfed down my bag lunch and went back to work on time, feeling if not refreshed, then at least awake. That was Monday. It got worse from there. By Thursday, I had to take a quick nap a couple of times during the day when no customers were around, as well as sleeping for nearly my entire lunch hour. At night, I just wanted to sleep, but I couldn't. I was in bed, staring at the dark corners of my room, knowing minute by minute that I was getting less and less sleep. On Friday, I simply fell asleep early in my shift and didn't wake up until a customer wandered near me in the greenhouse. I pretended to be weeding and helped them find their tulips. Smart move, since the tulips need the winter in the soil to bloom and we are getting deep into fall. Saturday I had off. Bea held down the fort on Saturdays. She claimed it kept her going, knowing she would see her plants again. Since I live within walking distance of work, sometimes I would either work a shift or simply drop in and see her for a while. But not today. I left her a note saying I was having a hard time sleeping. She would understand. I decided to take a walk. After a few miles where the city was being left behind and open fields were starting, a car ran me over. At least I thought one did. I stumbled off the road and fell hard. A sharp pain went through my leg. I looked down, dazed. I'd fallen through some sort of post. It had pierced my thigh. For a moment, I thought it was another sleep-deprived hallucination. Then the pain stabbed me anew. Blood was pouring from the jagged wound. But worse, I was partly down an embankment, and the post was firmly in the ground. My weight had dragged me all the way down it, so that more than a foot of metal stuck up from my leg. Worse, my phone was not in my pocket. I reached around for it, but it seemed to have ended up somewhere out of my reach. Ironic, I thought, as the blood pooled below me and my efforts to move my leg yielded nothing at all. I'm about to fall asleep. And that's the story for this week. I hope you enjoyed it. Obviously, comes from, a little bit of real life. I've been having a very hard time sleeping for the last few months, and I'm not sure exactly what's up with that. I know a lot of people do have that issue, and for some people, of course, it's gotten worse because of, COVID or for a myriad of other reasons. Anyway, I just wanted to write something about it. Obviously, I'm also getting my feet back under me after having been on vacation for a while and being sort of out of practice of writing. So it felt good to get a story done, even if it was a little short. In fact, quite a bit short, but that's okay. I hope you enjoyed it. If you have any comments or questions about this episode or previous episodes, cryptobiography@gmail.com, or hit us up on Facebook or Twitter. And thanks for listening. Words and music copyright 2022, CryptoBiography LLC, all rights reserved. Characters and events are fictional, fictionalized, or satirical.